What is up, y'all? Weeby Doo Doo Man here, and welcome to the first episode in a short series of build guides that I wanted to put together. I know these are a little late. The game's been out for over 2 weeks now, but there was a patch recently, and so all the builds that I will be showing off will be accounting for that. So the reason I wanted to put these together is because I noticed in general, like a lot of people, including some friends of mine or people that I've watched stream the game, struggling a little bit in the earlier portions of the game, and also worrying about like the parts they're using and stuff like that. So I just wanted to put some builds together with some of the parts that you can get very early in the game. All of these are available for the most part in Chapter 1 immediately. So as soon as you unlock the shop or unlock the training missions, all of these will be available to you. I have 4 builds altogether, and I will showcase each of them in each of the videos. This one will be the bipedal. So, all-rounder build, and it's solid for pretty much everything. Good firepower, good mobility. That's what an all-rounder does. So that's kind of why we're here, right? So starting off with the weapons, in our right hand here, we have the Ranzetsu burst rifle. So this was one of the weapons that did receive a buff recently. Basically just got like a little bit more attack power and impact, which I don't personally think it needed. To begin with, I already thought that this weapon was very good. I thought that it was a good bridge between the starting Turner rifle and the starting linear rifle that you get in the game. And with the buff, it just makes it that much better. So I think that that's just your best option as far as that is concerned. In our left hand here, we have the Pulse Blade, the starting melee weapon that it gives to you, and I believe that it personally is one of the strongest weapons in the game. I mean, most of the melee weapons are absurdly strong in this game, but it's definitely something that is underutilized, especially by people who are playing the game for the first time. Because I understand that getting in close with most enemies that are shooting lasers or missiles at you from long range is a little scary, but with the amount of damage that it dishes out, I think it's well worth the payoff when you do land those hits. Also to note, don't use the charged attack on this. There is a charged attack for a lot of weapons, including the melees, and the charged attack power, as you can see here, is about 1600, while a single swipe is almost 1000, and you can get 2 single swipes in. So I would opt out of the charged attack on this melee weapon, for instance. I would say always try to go for the double swing instead of the charged. Moving on, we have the right shoulder weapon. Here we go. I don't know why it was on that. So we have just the basic missile launcher. This is the one that you start with. It's good. It's not great, but it's not bad. So just stick with it. You get it for free. Can't complain. This one, on the other hand, is the vertical missile launcher, and this one becomes available to you after one of the beginning training missions. I don't remember which one off the top of my head, but they are training missions, and even though they are tedious, they do give you free stuff. So can't complain about free stuff. Just do the training missions. And then on to the actual build itself, right? So starting off with the headpiece, we're using the VP 44S, and in the very beginning of the game, this is probably the best headpiece available. In all honesty, the stats are very good, very solid. Like all of these right here are essentially pretty much where you want them to be. There are better headpieces that you get later on in the game, but this is available in the shop immediately. So right after you complete I believe the first mission after the tutorial mission, this is available in the shop. And so are most of the items, as I stated before. So be on the lookout for that. Almost all of these parts, unless I specify otherwise, are available in the shop pretty much immediately. Moving on to the core, the VP40S, same deal, available in the shop immediately. It's just a general upgrade from the Orbiter, which this is the starting chest piece that you get, the starting core. And as you can see, all of the bars go down, every single one of them. This one is just an overall upgrade, and it still keeps you in line with the general amount of mobility and durability that you want for an all-rounder altogether. Moving on to the arms, we're using the Nocturer arm pieces. And now, while these are very lightweight, which also does fit in with the build, the reason that we're picking these specifically is for this right here, firearm specialization. Essentially what this does is it basically boosts the amount of tracking that your weapons have. So this will make sure that the burst rifle that you're using, when you're trying to shoot at something, you're for the most part gonna hit it unless you are out of range. That's the only way that you're gonna miss. Like I said, for the most part. It also has decent melee specialization, and basically that's just how much melee damage you're going to deal. So this also helps with the pulse blade as well. And so overall, just fits very well into the build because you're using both the burst rifle and the dual blade. So that makes up for it. Moving on to the legs, again, just a better general upgrade from, where are they here? The crawlers. Now, you do lose a little bit on the jump distance and the height, and the attitude stability, which is essentially how long it takes for you to get staggered. But you gain overall defense, and you get a lot of load limit. So basically what the load limit is that's how much your mech can carry. So if you want to upgrade later on to get some heavier weapons, grenade launcher, rocket launcher, a larger missile launcher, something like that, you'll be able to do it because you have a better load limit on there. But also available in the shop almost immediately. Don't have to do anything crazy to get these. And onto the booster, this is another one that is available through the early training missions. So as soon as you unlock those training missions, I suggest just knocking through them, as tedious as they are, and get the free stuff that it gives you, because this is probably the best early game booster available. There obviously there are a lot of other boosters available throughout the game, but starting off, this is definitely the best one, 100%. And moving on to our FCS, or our fire control system, we are just going to be, well, actually this is wrong because this you don't unlock until later. So we are going to be using the FCS G2 P10 SLT. So the reason that we're using this is because, as you can see, well-rounded. It's pretty decent for everything. It's not great in any particular aspect, but this does have amazing missile lock correction and multi-lock correction, essentially just meaning that your missiles are going to be the most accurate they can possibly be. Another little tip, if you are planning on building a mech that is fully revolving around missile pods later on in the game, this is the one you want to use. It literally has the best for everything. The only thing that you get better is on this one here, and it's with the multi-lock correction. But overall, this I would still say is better, wholeheartedly. And moving on to our generator, the VP20S. So this well-balanced, well-rounded generator, probably one, again, better part that you can get early on in the game. But the reason we're using this is because if we go back, if we go back to our core, you can see that there is a generator output adjustment. Essentially what that means is that all of the stat bars on your generator are going to be boosted based on the core that you pick. And the one that we have, again, for the early game is probably the best option that we have as far as generator output is concerned. And since this one is so well-rounded, all of these stats are going to get a boost to some extent. I don't know the exact numbers on that boost. It is very hard to calculate, but it's still something that is generally well-rounded enough for this build to work. And as we've stated before, this is the bipedal build. Essentially, that's what you want to be. You want to be well-rounded, you want to be mobile, you want to hit hard, and so on and so forth, right? So the final piece to this build that we're going to be using is technically something that you cannot unlock right away. This also, you do need to advance a little bit in the story to unlock the arena. And after you unlock the arena, you will get access to OS tuning. And so this is basically just a bunch of passive stat upgrades as well as these. So assault armor, pulse protection, pulse armor, terminal armor, blah, blah, blah. Right? So those other ones aren't the ones that are important. The one that's specifically important is this one, pulse armor. This whole portion is totally up to you. I prefer the pulse armor, or recommend the pulse armor, I should say, for people who are just starting out, trying to get used to the game. But let me also put this build into practice now that you see everything here. And now we just went through it all. I'm just going to go through the final arena mission that becomes available to you towards the end of the game. Just to give a little taste of like how you kind of want to play this, and at least show off that this is usable even till like the higher portions of the game. Obviously there are massive improvements you can make, and you can build this however you want, but for the early game, I think if you want to play a bipedal build, this will be your best option. So let's get into this.
Commencing evaluation.
Main system activating combat.
So another thing that a lot of people tend to do and don't seem to, I don't want to say that they don't seem to understand, but something that is very overlooked is the little warning trigger before an enemy like shoots like a projectile like that. That little blink right before they shoot it isn't the time that you want to hit the dodge. That's just the warning saying, hey, something big is about to get shot at you. Get ready for it. You want to watch the shot itself, which I know is also very tricky, but that's just a little explanation for why some people may be saying, hey, I dodged that, when in reality it was like you dodged when the warning went off, not when the shot went off, per se, right? So that's just a little extra tidbit there for anybody just starting out.
This concludes all evaluations. We thank you for your cooperation.
So that's the build. That's to show off that it's still usable even towards like later parts of the game. It's not anything fancy. It's not anything super special. All of the parts are available very early in the game. It really just does depend how you play it. But I do believe that using those parts does make it a little bit easier, because I did notice, like I said, a lot of people saying, like, I don't have the right parts, so I don't think I can put anything together, and I don't understand how to build this, and blah, 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 so on and so forth, as I stated before. But that's the build for the bipedal. I'm going to put out a couple more of these. I do have another 3 of these saved for what, like, I believe, like, the starter options should be early game for the reverse joint, the tetrapod, and then the tank as well. But we will get into those later. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you all next time. Just one more thing to throw in, but thank you for watching this far. I recently started speedrunning this game at twitch.tv/weeweedoodooman, so you can catch me there Thursday nights and Sunday afternoons, Eastern Time. If you want to stay updated with me, you can join the FakeGamers Discord. We're just a group of friends that play games together and pretty much cause chaos. All the social links will be posted in the description below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell, hashtag algorithm, because that's how that works. And in the background right now is pretty much just a small preview of what is to come in the future videos. So thanks for tuning in. Peace.